Hello everyone. How are you guys doing? Good. Do you still have the energy from yesterday? I hope you are more energetic today. Any question before we start? Any comments? Monday midnight. Section 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. Any other question? 3.3. Okay. Do you have any specific question? Okay. Any other question? So initially on my syllabus, I said our officer will be Tuesday after class, but just Tuesday I realized that right after our class, we have another class Tuesday, Thursday. So we cannot do officer after class Tuesday, Thursday. So officer will be Friday after class. Okay, Friday we don't have any class after our class here. Okay, any other question, comments, concern, any problem with my MATLAB? No? Okay, so in our last class, we talked about section 3.2, or I talked about 3 formats of outline. And I specifically told you which format is useful. So today we are going to work with the first format. Whenever that's to find x and y intercept, this format is helpful because finding x and y intercept is easier. And then we talked about which types of equations are linear. And we mentioned 2 things. One is that if you can convert the given equation into any of the line format, then it's a linear. And none of the variable can have more than 1 power. Also, none of the variable can be in the denominator if we solve for one variable. Only then we can figure out which equations are linear. And then we used old school method where we graph linear equation by plotting points. But today we are going to graph using x and y intercept, which is much easier to work with. So today we are going to do x and y intercepts. Oh man. Now x-intercept is the point when you cross the x-axis when the graph crosses the x-axis. That point on the x-axis is called x-intercept. Since it's a point on the x-axis, so the y values at that x-axis has the value 0. And whatever number we have for x, that's our x-intercept. On the other hand, y-intercept is when you're crossing when the graph crosses the y-axis. Through the y value that crosses the y-axis, that's the y-intercept. And in the y-intercept, our x values are 0. That's why y-intercept has a format 0 for x and a number for y. That's all you have to know about x and y-intercept. In the x-axis, our y's are 0, so the y values are 0, x value is a number. On the y-intercept, all the x are 0 and y is a number, so the format is 0 for x and a number for the y. Now let's do one example. Let's say this is 1 and this is the y value -1. Let me also draw the others. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. And let's say we have something like this. 1, 2, 0. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's say this is -1, -2, 1, 2. Okay. So in the first one, this is our x-axis. And this is our y-axis. So our graph, the line is crossing the x-axis to the x value 1. That's why we have x-intercept is x equals 1. But for every x-intercept, our y value is 0. So if they ask you to find, write the x-intercept as a point format, the same information, we write x value is 1, but y value is 0. These two things are the exact same things. They just look different. For y-intercept, if you observe, our line is crossing the y-axis to the y value -1. So our y-intercept is y equals -1. And as a point format, in the y-axis, all the x values are 0. So it's 0, -1. The point format are important because in the final exam, they want you to write the x and y-intercept as a point, not like this. It should write them as a point format. That's why you have to remember how to write anything as a point format. Can you write them together by if you do x and y, that means it's 1 point. Or you will have 1 point, like 2 points, 1 for each one of them. Any other question? Who would like to help me with the next one? Let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. So who would like to help me with B? Any volunteer? I will help you, so don't be scared. Let's start with x-intercept. Who would like to try x-intercept? What's the x value? What's the x-intercept here? For B. Anything else? Remember, x-intercept is when you're crossing the x-axis. Yeah. So you're crossing at 0. Yeah. True. You're crossing at 2. It's true. Anything else? -2. So here we are crossing our x-axis 3 times. One is at -2, one is at 0, and one is at +2. That's how you have 3 x-intercepts. Can you also give me their points for each one of them? The point format? Mm-hmm. So for the -2, mm-hmm. 0, yeah, -2. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 2, 0. Perfect. Any question on this one? Who would like to help me with the y-intercept? Y-intercept is when you're crossing the y-axis. So this is the y-axis. Y equals 0, but the point is 0, 0. Do you have any more y-intercept? No, because we are crossing the y-axis only once, not more than once. So you're crossing once, twice, 3 times on the x, but only 1 time on the y. Question? Okay, let's see the next one. My next volunteer for C, x-intercept. Would you like to try it? 2. -2. -2. Anything else? Mm-hmm. And how about the y-intercept?
-3 and 3.
Y -3 and 3. Would you like to give me their points? 2, 0, -2, 0. And for y? Are you sure?
0. I'm sorry, 0, 10, 3.
0, the first one is -3, and then 0, -3. I don't have much space, so let me write here again. 0, +3, and 0, -3. Is anybody confused? You couldn't hear? Would you like to switch your chair? There is one empty seat here. If you can't hear me, you should move forward because I'm actually talking as loudly as possible. If I talk louder, I will start coughing. Any question? No? Let's do some interesting ones. Go ahead, question? No, one is positive, one is negative. Sorry, my bad. Thank you for catching that. So let's see, this is 1, 2. So this is our x-axis. This is the y. So this is x. This is y. This is x. This is y. On the top. And let's say this is 1, 2. 1, 2. I don't need anything. Who would like to try it? In here, they didn't print the scale. I don't know why, but in the homework, you'll see the scale. Oh, there you go. Okay, x-intercept for, let's say this is D, E, and F. D. What is the x-intercept for D? 0 is here. Do you have the graph here? So can it be 0? 9. See, our graph is here, way above than our x-axis. Since we are not crossing the x-axis, how can we have x-intercept? So we don't have any x-intercept. It's not 0, it's none. None means no x-intercept. But 0 means it does exist at 0. How about the y-intercept? 2. Y equals 2, but we want the point. X should be 0 and y is 2. Any question? Go ahead, question. Hmm?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's y-intercept. Your question.
So when there's none, zero and no.
It's none. For the next one, who would like to try E? The x-intercept. 2, perfect. So x equals 2 as a point, 2, 0. And what do you sign in? The y-intercept. What's the y-intercept for our E? None, because we're not crossing. We're not touching y-axis at all. How can we have anything? So it's none. And now the last interesting one. Would like to try that? Go ahead. Huh? See here, this is a y-axis, and our line crossed the y-axis. So at 0, the line crossed the x-axis by the y-axis. So this is a y-axis, right? And the line crossed it. So we have a y-intercept here. Anytime you cross y-axis, you have intercept. Anytime you cross x-axis, you have intercept.
So what in this?
But in here, we didn't cross the y, so we cannot have y-intercept. We didn't cross the x, so we cannot have x-intercept. And in here, we are crossing both x and y through the number 0. So what's the x-intercept? 0. What's the y-intercept? Again 0. So it's 0, 0. So see, this is an interesting one because both x and y intercept at the same 1 point. 0, 0. So we may have one intercept, we may have no intercept, or we may have more than one intercepts. It doesn't have any specific rule how many intercepts we have for any graph. But the rule is if you cross the x-axis, it has to be x-intercept. If you cross the y-axis somewhere, it has to be y-intercept. Who didn't sign in? Anyone else? Okay, any question on x and y-intercept? Was it easy? Are you confident about this? Great. Bad news, in the final, you're not going to see this because it's too easy. What you're going to see is this. Let's say we don't have a graph, but they're asking us to give them x and y intercept. Okay, it's not bad. All you have to do is do the exact same thing what you did visually. For every x-intercept or y is 0, x is the number, y is 0. So to find the x-intercept, we set y to be 0. In other words, we erase our y term and solve for x. Whatever you get, that's x-intercept. Similarly, to find the y-intercept, see every y-intercept or x is 0 or x is 0. So to find the y-intercept, we set x to be 0 or just erase the x term and whatever remains from there solve for y. That's it. That's all you have to do. To find x, erase the y, solve for x. To find y-intercept, erase the x and solve for y. And to draw a line using the intercept, you first find the x-intercept, plot it on the x-axis, find the y-intercept, plot it on the y-axis, and then connect them with a straight line. That's it. Now, for this question, I said, well, we may have one intercept, two intercept, or many intercept, or no intercept at all. For line, there is a requirement. For any line, you can have at most one x-intercept and at most one y-intercept. You cannot have more than one x or y-intercept. If you do, that means not a line. Line has a condition. You have only one, you cross the axis only once and y-axis only once. Now let's do some fun example. We are given standard form of a line. They want us to find the x-intercepts, y-intercepts, and then graph using those intercepts. So what I said is this. To find the x-intercept, we are going to set y to be 0 and solve for x. What does that mean? We are given 3x plus 5y is 15. When we set y to be 0, the entire y terms become 0. So this whole thing becomes 0. In other words, we are just erasing the y term. Then what is left on the left term? What is left on the left side? 3x. And what do you have on the right side? 15. Our goal is to get the x alone. Do you add, multiply, subtract, divide? Divide. We divide by 3 and we get 5. But they want you to write point. So how are you going to write x equals 5? 5, 0. Every x-intercept must has to have y 0. So we have a number for 5, we have a number for x, but our y is always 0. We do the exact same thing in the y-intercept, but this time we get rid of the other variable. So we set x to be 0. And we solve for y. So we have 3x plus 5y 15. When we set x equals 0, the entire x term get vanished. So basically we're erasing the 3x. So now what is left? 5y equals 15. And to get the y alone, by 5. So how much is the y? 3. As a point, 0, 3. See, x is 0 because we set x to be 0. And whatever we have, that's the y. And now finally use them to graph. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Our x is 5 and y is 3. So let's say this is 5. So you plot the x-intercept on the x-axis. Y is 3, so you plot the y-intercept on the y-axis. So x-intercept on the x, y-intercept on the y, and then connect them with a straight line. So this is the graph of this equation, 3x plus 5y equals 15. And with this question, you have your very fast finalism question. You're going to see this again in the final exam. And you're going to do the exact same thing. Find the x-intercept, point, y-intercept, point, graph them. Any question? Then you try the next one. by collaborating with your neighbors. The sign-in sheet. Did everybody sign into it? 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. Okay. How is this possible? I have 19 here and everybody signed in, but I have 24 students in class. How is it possible? Let me study. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 24 students, but 19 signed in, and everybody signed in. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Who is playing a joke? Who didn't sign in? Oh, now I see. You guys signed in on the back. Okay. Here on the back it says CTFA, and I draw a line. You guys are not CTFA, you guys are DTFA. So you're supposed to sign in on this side, not on the other side. Come on. Okay, mystery solved. So how you guys are doing with X and Y intercept? You don't have to do it alone. You can talk to your neighbor if you need help. Or if you think they need help, help them. And if you're done, you can copy the note. United. Let's x-intercept. X-intercept. Y-intercept. Perfect. Can you tell me what's wrong with this? Not just why is it negative 6? Why is it anywhere positive 6? So now thank you. That really Wonderful. Brother? Okay, most of you are done, so let's do it together. Oops. Eric. Problem. Eric, you are Eric? Help me with x-intercept. Help me with the x-intercept. How did you find that? Tell me your steps. What's the first line you wrote? So first you have to write down the equation, right? 2x minus 6y equals 12. And now you're solving for x-intercept. So what do you have to do with the y? It is the y because you need only x. So now what? 2x equals 12. And now to get the x alone, divide by 2. Perfect. So what is x? Count. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 5, 10. What is 2 times 6? 2 times 6. 12. So what's the answer? No. 2 goes to 12. How many times? 6. So x is 6. Can you also tell me the point format? If x is 6, what's the y value? 0. Perfect. You got it. Now you have to do the exact same thing for y, but this time, Nick, so 2x minus 6y 12. This time 2x get vanished. So what do we have? And then so y equals negative 2. Point? Perfect. 0, negative 2. So when we plot the x-intercept on the x, which is 6, and y-intercept is negative 2. Let's say this is negative 2 somewhere. So you plot them, and then you connect them with a straight line. Is there anybody who doesn't have this line? Has something different? Anyone? No? Okay, the next concept. So, with this, we've done is 3.3. So 3.3 only talks about x and y intercept. That means now you can do all the homework questions that they have on MyMathLab. So start doing your MyMathLab homework. They will say different format, but the rules are same. Oh. To find x, it is the y, solve for x. Same format. Same rule. It doesn't matter what equation you see, the rules are same. To get the x, it is your y, solve for x. To get the y-intercept, it is your x, solve for y. That's all. And now 3.4 talks about slope. So what is a slope? Slope means when you walk from your left side to the right side, how you are moving. What's the steepness of your path? Sometimes we have to walk a very steep path, so we have a higher slope. Sometimes we walk on a low steepness, so we have a lower slope. So the steepness or how slant a line is, that's the slope of a line. Now to find the slope of a line, for 2 points, we have this slope formula. What it means is that if you have a point here x1, y1, and you have a point here, x2, y2, to see how steep this path is, which connects the 2 points. All you have to do is we take the difference in the y and we divide that by the difference in the x. That's how we can measure how steep a line is. Take the difference in the y divided by the difference in the axis. So we call it rise over run. Rise means we are rising and run means we are running on a surface. So the formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. In other words, you have to memorize this formula if you didn't understand the concept of steepness. Now we have 4 types of slope in our life: positive, negative, 0, or undefined. Positive slope means when you walk from your left side to the right side, you're going up, like when you climb up the stairs. When you climb up the stairs, we are moving upward. So we have a positive slope. And the slope is a positive number. Negative slope means when you walk from your left side, you're going to the right side, you're going downward, like climbing down the stairs. So the slope in the line is a negative number. And then we have 2 special types of slope. One is 0 slope. 0 slope means when you walk from your left to the right, like here, I'm walking, I'm not going up or I'm not going down. I'm walking on a straight path. When you walk on a straight path, it's a 0 slope. We don't have any steepness on the path. Our path is straight forward. So it's a horizontal line that walks from straight left to right. Since it's a horizontal line, so the format of the equation is y equals some number, like y equals 1, y equals -1, y equals 5, y equals -10, could be anything. When you have y equals some type of number, your slope is 0. And now the last type of slope, undefined. So remember, I keep telling you, when you walk from left to the right, there is one time when you actually don't walk from left to the right. When you don't walk from left to the right. In life, can you find a scenario where you don't walk from left to the right? If you cannot walk from left to right, which way you can walk? No left, right. If you cannot walk left, right, which other direction you have to walk? Up or down? If you cannot walk left, right, that means you have one choice only. Either you are going up or you are going down. Only 2 choices. So when you go straight up or straight down from some place, it's a vertical line. And this vertical line is so steep that we don't know how to count its steepness. So that's why the steepness doesn't exist. The slope doesn't exist. And also the slope doesn't exist because we are not walking left or right. In order to have a slope, you have to walk from left to the right. In a vertical line, we cannot walk from left to the right, so we cannot have a slope. Slope doesn't exist. And every vertical line, they have a format. X equals some type of number. So when you see a line that has only X equals some number, that means that line is a vertical line. It doesn't have any slope. Excuse me, sorry. It doesn't have any slope. The slope is undefined. So going up, positive slope. Going down, negative slope. Walking on a flat surface means y equals the number, 0 slope. Walking straight up and down, like when you climb a mountain. We never did, right? Did any of you climb mountain? No? You did? Did you go left, right, or did you go straight up and down? Depends. So mostly we go straight up and down. So when you climb a mountain, you have no slope. So it's the slope is undefined, doesn't exist. Okay, now we have 2 points. They are asking to find the slope between them. Let's say this point is x1, y1, and this point is x2, y2. So how do you find the slope if 2 points are given? What is the slope of the line that goes through 2 points? Good, formula. So what's the slope formula? y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Great. That means now all you have to do is substitute. What minus what goes on the top? Go ahead.
-3 minus 15
-3 minus 15
over 10 minus 12.
10 minus 12. Perfect. Now the math.
So first we do -3 plus -15, which will get us -18, and over -2.
-2. +9. So the negative and negative cancel out. We have 18 over 2. So 2 goes to 18 9 times. Our slope is 9. Is this a positive number or a negative number? So what type of line we have here? A line that is going up. Now try the next ones by yourself, with your partners, with your neighbors. And we have one more question. Let me put here. Okay, 3 pairs. Find the slope for each one of them. Oh, yeah. And you are missing something. You gotta put something. You always. Correct, correct. So here's what you divide both of them by one number. Complex. After place, correct, more. Yeah. When okay, all right, you have one more. And how can you go and how can you have one number and go really good? Let's make it. Oh, whatever how come you are moving? Next one that we will touch is that is different from but here it is free. Yes, next one doesn't. Yeah, but it's 1 2 minus 1 minus. Minus 1 even minus so it's something equal then Q1 minus 1.
Instead of one minus.
And the target is 3 minus what is the double? There's 1 minus for the formula. There's another minus for the number.
Yeah.
Hey, problem. I have to sign. And zero. Why? Because we have 3 minus again, there is 1 minus from the point. There is another minus, we will number even. Also, it's gonna be exactly. You tell them. And what do you do? 3 minus 2. So actually here is but then that's okay. 3 minus 3 minus. What is minus? Okay, what? You don't get that. Okay. So, love. Who would like to help me with the first one? Go ahead. So you have -1 minus 1 divided by 3 minus -3. So 1 minus always comes from the formula. So the formula has a minus. You must have to have a minus after the first number. And then if the number is a negative number, the next one, you put a double negative. So what happens to the double negative? Positive. So you have 3 plus 3, which turns into 6. And -1 minus 1, -2. And then I saw many confused faces. So we know both of them are even numbers. Every even numbers are divisible by 2, always. So you divide both of them by 2. So what do you have? -1/3. This is a fraction -1/3. So it's definitely not the number 3.
It's -2.
You have -1 minus 1.
That's gonna be positive.
No, look at the number line. This is 0, this is -1, this is -2. So -1 means you are starting at -1. So you're here. Now from this number, you're going left 1 unit. So if from -1, you go left 1 unit, where you are landing? -2. So anytime you're confused, walk on the number line and you'll see your answer. So we have 2 and 6, they both are even numbers. Even numbers are always divisible by 2, always. So we can divide the top by 2 and also bottom by 2. So when you divide top by 2, -2 divided by 2 is -1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So you have -1 on the top, 3 on the bottom. So that was the only good one. And now comes little bit funny ones. Who would like to try the next one? B. I mean, 5 minus 5 on the top. 3 minus -2. So the top is 0, we can see clearly. And what happens to the bottom? 5. And now everybody was confused. So let me tell you about a real life scenario. Let's say you have $0. Okay, $0. It means how much money you have? Zero. You have nothing, right? And now I'm telling you, divide your $0 into 5 pieces. How much you have now? Still zero. So 0 divided by anything, any number, or any number that is not 0 is always 0. Okay? So if 0 is on the top, our answer is always 0. If you forget, think about my money problem. You have $0, you're dividing into whatever you have in the denominator. How much you have? Still nothing. Now the question, when you have a negative slope, what type of line we have? Negative slope gives us what type of line? Downward, right? But now we have a 0 slope. So what type of line we have? No, our slope is 0. So we have a horizontal line. And now comes the last equation, the last slope. What's the last one? What minus what? -2 minus 1. 4 minus 4. So 4 minus 4 we know 0. And what do you on the top? -3. And now I see many of you wrote this is 0. Now think about this. Let's say this is positive 3, okay? So let's say I'm giving you $3. Okay? All of you have $3. And I'm telling you, divide your $3 into 0 pieces. Can you do that? It's not the question how much you have. I'm asking you, can you follow my direction? Can you divide your $3 into 0 pieces? Can you? Never, right? When you have something, you already have that. I have a pen. I already have 1. There is no way I can divide this pen into 0 pieces because I already have 1. So this operation is not possible at all. Since it's not possible, what's the answer? Undefined. It doesn't exist. Undefined means doesn't exist. Undefined means does not exist. Because it's not possible. Anything not possible in our life, we call them undefined. Doesn't exist. So what type of line doesn't have any slope? Straight line that goes up and down. A line that goes straight up and down. So this is a line which is vertical. Question.
That also correlates with positive numbers.
Like anything. Not only numbers, but anything. If I tell you 10 divided by 0, or if I tell you house divided by 0, same concept. If I tell you x divided by 0, same concept. When you have something, there is no way I can divide into 0 pieces. The denominator tells us divide into that many pieces. For example, here, divide 0 into 3 pieces. This one means divide 1 into 3 pieces. Okay? So numerator is what you have, and denominator means how many pieces you have to divide into. So when you forget what is what, think about real life. Like my money, $0 money divided into 5 pieces. How much you have? Still nothing. But you have $3 divided into 0. Never possible. Okay, any question?
It's okay for the person to be a fraction.
Slope could be anything: positive, negative, fraction, whole number, 0, undefined. Anything is possible. Okay, now comes same concept, but looks a little bit different. Oh, I forgot to tell you. This is your second finalism question. You have to do one finding the slope. It could be one of these 4 scenarios, anyone. So you already have 2 questions out of 30 questions. Final exam is 30 questions. My in-class review sheets will be your review sheet for the final from my side. And from the departmental side, they posted 3 review sheets on Brightspace. But throughout the semester, I'm going to give you all 30 questions. So if you can combine all of them together in one place, you have a final exam in front of you before the final exam. So from my side, the final exam review will be my all in-class review sheet. I'm going to give you review sheet for all 5 exams. If you study all 5 review sheet, 5 exams, you'll be fine for the final exam. Final exam will be based on those. And from the department, they already posted 3 practice final on Brightspace. Practice those. But mine are more realistic than the department's. And I already gave you 2 of them. And this is the 3rd one. Final. Okay. So from 30 questions, you already have 3 of them today. For some reason, they love this question. It's a little bit confusing, but main idea here is that if you have any type of curve, it could be a parabola, it could be something like this, or it could be something like that. It doesn't matter what do you have. If you have any type of curve, then a secant line is a line that connects any 2 points. For example, you may have a 1 point here, 1 point there. The line that goes through any 2 points is called secant line. Same thing here. You can connect a point and point there. So this is a secant line. From here to there, this is a secant line, okay? So a secant line is a line that connects 2 points in a curve. And now they are telling us we have a curve, which is a parabola, something like this one. They gave us the formula of the curve. Y equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. Y equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. And they're telling us in this curve, there are 2 x numbers. One of them is 2, one of them is 3. For example, let's say this is the x2 and this is the x value 3. So at this point, we have x value 2. At this point, we have x value 3. They're telling us what's the slope of this line. So if you had 2 points, how do you find the slope? The formula, right? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. How bad they are, they give us the 2x values. Why are the y values for them? Did they give us any y values? No. But instead of giving us the y value directly, what did they give us? They gave us 2 x's, but we also need the 2 y's for them. They didn't give us the 2 y's. Instead, what did it give us? The equation. So they're telling us, hey, don't be lazy. All these times I give you 2 points, you just apply them into the formula. Now find the y's for the x I'm giving you. See? That means you have to do extra work. The first point is x equals 2. We want to see when our x1 is 2, what's the y1 we have for that? So if you know our x value, how do you find the y? Substitute, right? So 2 squared, 2 times 2 plus 1. Because the first x is 2, and to find the y, we replace 2 squared, 2 times 2 plus 1. So what is 2 squared? Huh? 4. 2 times 2? 4. And what is 4 plus 4 plus 1? 9. So we have our first point. X1 is 2, Y1 is 9.
What is the same white?
Sorry, my bad, it's 1. Thank you. Y1. So next they give us X2 is 3, and we have to find Y2. If X2 is 3, what is our Y2? So this time we replace all the X with what? 3. So we have 3 squared plus 2 times 3 plus 1. What is 3 squared? 3 times 2? And what is 9 plus 6 plus 1? 16. So we have our second point. X value is 3, Y value is 16. They did not give us the Y's directly, but we are so smart, we figured them out by working with their equation. Now can you find the slope? So what minus what? 16 minus? Divide by? 3 minus 2. And what is 16 minus 9? 7. 3 minus 2? And what is 7 divided by 1? 7. Is it a positive? Is it a increasing line or decreasing line? Increasing line. And see, the line we have, it is an increasing line. Question. Would you like to try this by yourself? The same question, same y is x squared plus 2x plus 1. This time they give us two different x value than what they gave us before. X is 1 and x is 4. Ready? Govin, what is y1? Hmm? 4, okay. So 1, 1, 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4. Perfect. Danielle. Okay. Y2. Uh-huh. So 4, 4, 16, 8, 125. Maria. Slope. Why did you get lost?
Which part? I put it on the first one. Second one, I know this on the end, but it's long enough.
Actually, there are 3 Ds because you have only 2 numbers. So if you put 1, whatever we have for 1, that's the y value. And we have another x, so whatever you have for that x, that's the y value for that.
Yeah, I just did it all the way around.
So if you write this is x1, then this is y1. Okay? So you don't have to erase anything, you just switch the position x1 instead of x2, you write it's x1. So you have your x1, y1, x2, y2, right? Did you have all those numbers? Not yet? Go ahead. Hmm? Tell me the
25 minus 4.
25 minus 4 over 4 minus 1, which is 7. What type of line is this? So are you going up or going down? Going up. And if you notice, you actually have the same thing. It could be a coincidence. It's not wrong, but it's incomplete. It's like you ate your food, but didn't drink your water. So it's incomplete. Okay, so we know how to find slope when 2 points are given. And now they're asking, well, I'm not going to give you any points. I'm giving you an equation. Find the slope of that line. Okay. So if you remember correctly, when you talked about the 3 formats of the line, we said if you don't see a slope in any line, then convert that into slope-intercept form, you'll see your slope. So we are going to convert this into y equals mx plus b. Why? Because this m is the slope we are looking for. And when you solve for y, we get the b automatically. What is the b? Y-intercept. So when you solve for slope, you get the y-intercept free. So anytime you don't see a slope, solve for y. Why? Because y tells us what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. So if you want to solve for y, which one you get rid of first? 11x or the minus 8? So do we add, subtract, multiply, divide? Subtract. Subtract 11x from both sides. We have negative 8y is negative 11x. And 80 doesn't have any number in the front. It means what number? Sorry, 80 doesn't have any sign in the front. So what sign 80 has? Plus. And now to get the y alone, divide by -8. And let's do it individually because we need to see m and b separately. So y equals, what happens to the two negatives? Cancel out. So you left it positive 11 over 8x. And what happens to plus divided by minus? It's a negative 10. 8 goes to 80 10 times. So now we have y equals m, x, and b. So what is our slope? 11 over 8. And we also found the y-intercept for free. What's the y-intercept? -10. Y equals -10. So we found two of them. Look at the direction. It says find the slope and also intercepts. It means x and y, both of them. We found y. That means we just have to find the x and then we will be done. Find the x-intercept. So we did it at the beginning of the class. How do you find the x-intercept? We set y to be 0 and solve for x. And for that, the given equation is the best. So 11x minus 8y is 80. We don't want to see any y. So entire y cancel out. What do we have now? And now get the x alone. Divide by 11. Can you divide evenly? No. But roughly, approximately how much we have? 11 goes to 80 at least how many times? 7. So it's 7 plus something, right? 7 and a little bit more. So our y-intercept is -10. Let's say this is -10. And x-intercept, we are not 100% sure, but we do know it's between 7 and 8. Somewhere, right? So let's pick somewhere. That's an estimation. It's 7 plus something. So between 7 and 8. So I connect them with a straight line. So that's the graph. So to find the slope, convert it to y equals x plus 2. Good thing when you do that, you get two things at the same time. The only one thing missing is x-intercept. We have to use the old-fashioned method. We have to substitute y with a 0. In other words, we're erasing the entire y term and solve for x. Guess what? This is also but actually we can combine this with the other thing. The other one we talked about before. So maybe here, finding the slope. No, two questions. In one part, probably they'll ask you find the slope. And in another part, they'll ask you x-intercept, y-intercept, graph it. So yeah, another finalizing question. So with this, we are done in today's class. Tomorrow, we are going to start with the same example, same concept with different example, and then you're going to move on.
No, I was gonna ask you, because I was a little confused how that.
So study tonight, you know, and then see if you can understand that. Remember, tomorrow after class, you have your PLTL. PLTL. So you go to a different room, and here you have your PLTL leader. They will help you.
Do they have like a whole different?
They have a set of questions, and I also will send them few questions about what we didn't do in class, but you're going to see them in the homework. So in that way, It will help you to do the homework. So see you again, guys, tomorrow.